So the very first thing which I am going to tell to all of you is that we had already completed the first term portion. Only one chapter is left that we are going to start today, and that chapter name is chapter number 6, seeds. So before starting the chapter, if any one of you is having any doubts in any chapter, we will discuss in our doubt class. I just making them clear, and today we will start our chapter number 6, and that is seed. So in previous class I had told you, all of you, that seed and fruit is a matured form of what? Who will tell me the answer? That seed and seed and fruit is a matured form of which part of the flower? Ovary. Fruit is a matured form of ovary, and seed is a matured form of? Very good. See, I had told you this in your previous class when we were studying chapter number 5, that when a flower is containing ovary and ovule, after fertilization, when the fruit will form, the ovule will get converted into seed and the ovary will get converted into what? Fruit. Here we are going to study seed, structure and germination. Okay, so if we are talking about the seed is of two types. Okay, how many types of seeds are there? Two types. One is monocot and second is dicot. Before starting monocot and dicot, we have to study that what a seed contains. So basically, students, seed contains seed coat. Okay, seed sometimes contain food also, and there are some more seeds who are the seeds which contain food also. For example, the seeds which we are able to eat. For example, when you eat fruit, you just eat what? The fleshy part of the fruit. You just waste the seeds away. But there are some fruits in which you just eat the seed. For example, in pea plant. In pea plant, what you eat? You eat the seed of the fruit. Okay, the fruit is like this in structure, and when you open the fruit, the seeds are there and you eat that seed. So for example, students, you can also examine the seed in such a way that there are some seeds, the seeds which are edible and the seeds which are non-edible. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. There are some examples. See, as it is given in page number 47. All of you are having your books now with yourself? Okay, so beta, please see page number 47 and read with me page number 47, types of seed on the basis of endosperm. Okay, seeds are classified in two types: albuminous seeds and ex-albuminous seeds. Albuminous seeds are known as endospermic seeds. Ex-albuminous are known as non-endospermic seeds. Now you have to remember this point by the example which I am going to give you. For example, in albuminous seed, you are seeing that they are known as endospermic seed. Understood? In such seed, cotyledons are thin and membranous and endosperm persist, which means the cotyledons of these seeds will be very thin in structure. Now what is cotyledon? Had you seen gram, students, chana? Had you seen? Okay, there is when you see the structure of that gram seed, what you will see that there is a brown covering found on that seed. That is known as seed coat. Okay, and when you just remove that seed coat, listen to it very carefully. When you just remove that seed coat, you found two equal parts inside that, and that two things are nothing. That two things are known as cotyledon. Okay, that two things, the two equal parts which you see inside that is known as cotyledon. So now tell me, Now you can see that gram seed is edible or not. It is edible now, which means the cotyledons of the gram seed contain food in it, okay, that store food in it, okay, understood? So when the cotyledon is not containing food inside and it is thin in structure, that comes into the category of albuminous seed, okay, and X-albuminous seed are those who contain food in self, and when it will contain food in self, when it will be thick in structure, okay. For example, you can see in monocot, you can see the orchids, okay, in dicots you can see gram, pea, mango, mustard. So these type of seeds comes into the category of X-albuminous seeds. Now in albuminous seed you are seeing the monocot are edible, but in X-albuminous you are seeing the dicots are edible. Now one question will arise that ma'am, why in albuminous seeds the monocot seeds are edible and in X-albuminous seeds the dicot seeds are edible? Because students, when you see the structure of a rice, had you seen the structure of a rice? Rice is what? Rice is also a seed, na? Wheat is also a seed, na? Barley is also a seed, na? But there you can see that no cotyledons are found. Only a single cotyledon is there. So it will come into the category of monocot seed. Okay, and they comes into the category of albuminous types of seeds. Okay, and X-albuminous, the cotyledons are very thick, okay, and also they store food and become fleshy. So here the fleshy thing is distinguish the albuminous and X-albuminous. So what you have to study, that in albuminous we are studying about the cereals like grain, and in X-albuminous we are studying the gram, pea, pulses, okay, like X-albuminous seeds in dicots. Understood? For example, only you have to study there are two types of seed on the basis of their endosperm. One is albuminous, second one is X-albuminous. In albuminous, the cotyledon are thin, and in X-albuminous, the cotyledons are thick. In albuminous, monocot seeds are found which are edible, and in X-albuminous, the dicot seeds are edible. Understood? Now there are two, three terms which you have to understand. Beta, if you are able to on your video, just on it, because by your facial expression I can get now whether you are understanding my things or not. Okay, maybe there will be some language problem, whether you are not understanding my language. Okay, so if you are comfortable, you just on your video, and right now I am just recording this live class also. Okay, so the things which is also given on the first page of the chapter is that there are the different types of seeds which exist. For example, when you see the structure of a mango seed, it is large in structure, but when you see the structure of a gram seed, it is small in structure. When you see the structure of pea seed, it is larger than that of rice seed and wheat seed. Okay, so comparatively they are small, they are large, they are largest, or they are smallest. So if we talk about the smallest seeds, so the smallest seeds are those seeds which are non-edible. Basically when you see the seeds of apple, poppy, strawberry, so these are non-edible. That doesn't mean that you can't eat them, because when you eat strawberry, you just don't remove the seeds of strawberry, you just eat the seeds of the strawberries also. Okay, but can you do the thing that you are just removing the seeds from strawberry and just eating only the seeds of strawberry, not the strawberry? so it is not possible na. So when the seeds are very small in structure, very tiny in structure, they are edible because it will not harm your body in such a way. But what will happen if it is not eatable but large in size? It may damage our body because of the hard covering of its seed coat. Because if the seed coat is very hard, it is not digestible. Okay, understood? Now, one thing more which I had told to all of you to understand, that is the seed is a matured form of ovule and the fruit is the matured form of ovary. These two things you have to understand. Okay? Now can I ask some questions? Okay, beta, tell me, mango seeds are dicotyledonous or monocotyledonous? Very good. Because when you remove the coat of a mango seed, there are two cotyledons present inside the seed. Okay. Rice is a monocotyledonous or dicotyledonous? Very good. Mono means one, di means two. Monocotyledonous means one cotyledon, dicotyledonous means two cotyledons. Okay, so now it is clear to all of you. Now, the most important, see students, whenever I am asking about this chapter or whenever we are studying this chapter, one seed is very important in both the sections, which is from monocot you have to study the maize seed, means makki ka beej, okay, and in dicot you have to study bean seed, okay. Bean means any bean, whether it is soya bean, whether it is rajma, any bean. So you have to study the structure, a detailed structure of a monocot seed as well as dicot seed. In monocot, which is important? Maize is important, and in dicot, bean seed is important. Understood? Just repeat by my side. In dicot, which seed is important? In dicot, bean seed is important, and monocot, maize seed is important, because maize seed contain only one cotyledon, na, so it belongs to monocot, na, and bean seed contain, when you remove the cover of bean seed, there will be two cotyledons present inside the bean seed, so it will be of dicot. Okay. Now, when you see the structure which is given on page number 48. See, all of you see the structure which is given on page number 48, figure 6.1. All of you see, there is a grey covering which is found, and that is the seed coat. Okay, and the upper margin of the seed coat is known as testa. Okay. The upper margin of seed coat will be known as testa. In between the seed, there is a small spore which is found, is known as hilum. What it is known? It is known as hilum. Okay. Above the hilum is not only a pore, it is also a opening when a seed breaks itself. Okay. And then after you can see at the upper side of hilum there is a small tiny pore, that is micropyle. Micropyle was that pore inside which the pollen is known as what? Which is known as hilum. At the upper side of the hilum there is a small tiny pore that is known as micropyle. Micropyle was that opening which you had seen in the case of ovary. Inside the ovary, through which part the male nucleus is entering inside the ovule. जिस part से जो male nucleus था वो ovule के अंदर enter कर रहा था जिस pore के through, that was micropyle, and that is micropyle here in the seed. Okay. Now, when the seed start germinating, जब seed germination start करता है, means it start growing a tiny plant inside it. There is two parts found inside a seed. For example, I am just showing you one diagram. Wait students, I am having a rough copy. Wait a second. See, this is a seed, okay, and it will start germinating in a upper side and in a lower side. Okay, all of you are seeing now? This upper side will form the shoot part of the plant, means the upper part of the plant. This lower side will form the root part of the plant. Okay, this upper side will form shoot and this lower side will form root. Okay, understood? This upper part is known as plumule. Okay, and this lower part will known as radicle. Plumule and radicle. Plumule and radicle. Plumule will grow into shoot and radicle will grow into root. Okay, R for radicle, R for root. Radicle will grow into root, plumule will grow into shoot. Now all of you understood? And from where the plumules and radicals are just originating? They are originating by the place where we had seen xylem. Understood? Now, testa, you had studied that the outer margin of the seed coat is known as testa. Below the testa, the seed coat, the inner margin of seed coat is known as tegment. Okay, means if this is a seed and there is a covering, for example seed, this is a seed and there is a covering on the seed. The outer side means this side is testa and this side is tegment. Understood? And this is covering in this way. Okay, understood? Testa, tegment, and here a pore which is known as xylem. Upper side of xylem there is a micropyle, and when the seeds start germinating, the upper side of the seed, the two small plant-like structure which is seen, that is known as plumule, and the lower side is known as radicle. The plumule will be grown in the form of shoot, future shoot, and the radicle will form future root of the plant. Understood, students? Is my voice was clear or not? Students, my voice is clear or not? Muskan, are you saying something, but I am not able to listen to you. Okay, so students, those who didn't got what is plumule and radicle, so the seed, as I shown you the diagram, when the seed starts germinating, जब वो germinate करना start करता है in a new plant, a small structure came inside from a seed. The upper part of that structure known as plumule, which will form the future shoot. Now what is shoot? You know, the upper part of the plant. Okay, like branches, stem, leaf, flower, etc. And the radicle will form the root part of the plant. Okay, understood? So what you have to understand? What is testa? The outer margin of the seed coat. Tegment, the inner side of the seed coat. Okay, testa and tegment both will perform the process of protection of seed. Xylem, the opening. Micropyle, the small pore. Okay, and plumule, future shoot. Radicle, future root. Cotyledons, that is the part of seed which contain the stored food. Okay, and then there is a epicotyl. Epicotyl is just found in between the plumule and radicle. testa, you know, hypocotyl is just found at the upper side of radicle. Epicotyl will be found at the pumule side, and hypocotyl will form at the radical side. EP means upper, hypo means niche. Epicotyl will be formed at the it will found at the pumule side, and hypocotyl will be formed at the radical side. Now all of you understood? See, it is given in the diagram, figure 6.1. Okay, students? So, I am just leaving the class, means I am just leaving the explanation part till here only, because today only you will study lots of things. It will become very large for today or very lengthy for today, or we will discuss the remaining things next time. Okay? So today what we will do, only revise what we had studied today. So now I am going to ask you questions and you have to answer me. Now tell me, who is going to tell me what is hypocotyl? Who is going to tell me what is? Yes, hypo means niche, EP means upper. Hypocotyl will be at the upper side of radicle. Epicotyl will be at the lower side of pumule. Okay. Now, who is going to tell me what is the difference between testa and tegment? Who is going to tell me what is testa and tegment?